we have your fabulous comic book team, Andy, Katie, Heather, and Tony, who are going to come up stage and talk to you guys a little bit about what they do. Guys, I think you can applaud louder than that. That was kind of pathetic. There we go.
I love you too, but stay away from my bedroom window, okay?
I think we should all
It costs extra.
I think we should all take a moment to appreciate the wonderful cosplay that we have on stage right now.
She's the front half of Zakora, and I'm the back half.
Yeah.
So, first you just kind of, get it out of the way. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, talk a little bit about what you do on the comic, how you got started in the industry, and who your favorite pony is.
Tony, would you like to start?
My name's Tony. I draw My Little Pony comic books. I did covers for like the first 11 or 12 issues of the main series. I did at least a cover on every one of those, and then I did a bunch of the micro series covers, and I did micro series number 2 for the My Little Pony annual featuring the Equestria girls, and then I did Friends Forever number 2, 5, 7, and the soon-to-be released 9. I got into the My Little Pony because I knew the editor, Bobby. I sent him samples, and he said, "Would you like to draw My Little Pony?" That is a very short story about
That's
how I got to draw
exciting.
My Little Pony. He was like, "You can draw."
I especially like the car chase in the middle.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's full of intrigue. Least favorite pony? Most favorite pony?
Least favorite.
Least favorite pony? Diamond Tiara. Most favorite pony, Applejack, I think, right now. Most favorite pony to draw right now is definitely Granny Smith. Was there another one? Is that
Nope.
it?
Yes, go down the line.
Okay, Heather, you're up.
All right, I'm Heather Breckel. I work as the colorist on the My Little Pony comic. I've worked on pretty much 90% of the comics, including issues 1 through 20, number 23, 24. I've worked on about probably like half the micro series and Friends Forever so far, because nowadays I'm pretty much on everything with Tony, so he pulls me into a lot of work. Yeah. I got into Pony because I was already a fan of the show, and I saw it announced on Equestria Daily that the comic was happening, and then I was already working with Bobby Curnow, my editor, on Godzilla Half-Century War and the Ninja Turtle micro-series, and I was like, can I please work on Pony? And he was like, okay, and that was pretty much it.
That's Bobby. Our editor's
Bobby.
He's
a
the best.
sweetie.
He's a firecracker.
He's a firecracker. Why don't we go down to the malt shop and have ourselves an egg whip? And we'll go see the new Betty Davis movie.
I thought you were going to say malt.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Favorite pony?
Sing louder.
Yeah, my favorite
pony.
Yeah, my favorite pony is Rainbow Dash. It's like, yeah!
Who's your least favorite pony?
Probably Diamond Tiara. She's a douche.
I don't know if you guys saw Dawson's Creek, but remember when they had like the Diamond Tiara character on Dawson's Creek and then she drowned in the creek? That would be the sweetest.
I can make that happen, Tony.
Can one of the Cutie Mark
It can
Crusaders
happen.
stick her out?
Katie
It can
will
happen.
kill your waifu for you.
Oh.
Well, she had my waifu.
Yeah. I'm Andy Price, and I've been drawing with the book since issue 1. We did the Return of Chrysalis arc 1 through 4. We did Big Mac, how Cadence and Shining Armor came to be. What else did we do? We did some other stuff with ponies in it. And,
The Rarity Micro,
Rarity Micro,
the Luna Micro, Reflections, the upcoming
Reflections.
Friends Forever,
next month's
Rarity
Friends Forever.
Applejack, and
Or
then
this month's.
the newly announced last week at San Diego, The Good, the Bad, and the Ponies,
Good, the Bad, and the Ponies.
which will be super excited about that one.
So, who wants some M&Ms? M&Ms. M&M and M&Ms.
That's just going to melt.
Oh!
Dude, you're gonna like injure someone.
You're gonna get
Like, don't hit
ejected.
me.
It's all fun and games till somebody loses an eye.
Favorite pony, Andy?
My favorite pony? Mayor. No. I think everybody knows my favorite pony by now.
That's right.
All right. And it's starting to become this little underground legend. Who's my least favorite pony?
Babs?
Babs.
Really?
Oh, I love
Oh,
Babs.
what'd she do to you, Tony?
She got the coolest hair.
I was like, she's street, man.
Chrysalis is best monster. So, all right, Katie.
All right, first, this bathrobe is super hot up here. Oh my God, I'm taking it off.
Take it off very slowly.
It was a good joke, though, while it lasted.
No one wants to see that. All right, my name is Katie Cook, and hey.
Yeah.
And I work with the super awesome Andy Price on everything that he just said. Basically, if I have written it, then Andy has drawn it. And you all super missed it, because when this hall was empty, I did like a dance for 4 minutes on the middle of the stage.
The video will be sold to the highest
Oh.
bidder.
And then I read some bad poetry, which I did bring with me.
You should tell us one.
Have you guys come to the table to get any of Katie's bad poetry?
I have been writing bad poetry for a donation to the American Diabetes Association, and I brought a few with me.
Why don't you read
Do
some
one.
of them for us?
I'm going to, let me see.
Have you
They're
written
all
one
about
about
rats.
diabetes?
I did not write one about diabetes.
Which
I haven't-
pony do you think most
I
has
haven't drawn
diabetes?
a Wilford Brimley pony yet.
Oh,
Well,
there
do
we go.
That'd be
Before
deep
I will introduce my favorite pony in this poem. Twilight Sparkle spells words like narcle when she cheats at Scrabble.
Yeah.
That will be $5, everybody. You can pay at the door. Let me
This
see.
is your writer, people. These are the jokes. We don't dance.
You should compile them in a book for the charity
Oh,
auction.
they're so bad. Oh my God. Spike ate 3 emeralds.
Oh,
He
geez.
pooped out a diamond. He gave it to Rarity. Oh wait, this is Andy.
If you give him a week and a high-fiber diet, he can have a tennis bracelet for you by next Tuesday.
Oh my God, see, all these Post-it notes are like not even a fifth of them. I'm gonna end with this one before we move on, because it's Andy's favorite. Nope, I got 2. Luna speaks in the royal we.
Yeah.
We, all the way home. I'll just go for an hour. All right, and just one more. Dr. Hooves, wibbly wobbly, because he's missing a horseshoe. I do feel bad. Like every time somebody was like, thank you, I was like, I told you it was terrible. You were warned. Super warned.
So other than extremely entertaining Post-it note poetry, what sort of things do you guys work on when you're not working on the My Little Pony comic?
Tony?
Mostly, we're just working on the My Little Pony comic, I would say. My Little Pony takes up probably about 75% of my time, but I also draw covers for like Purgatory, who was a 90s bad girl comic. Like in the 90s, they had this whole thing where there was just like comics about boobs, and I do covers for that. They brought her back, and I do covers for that, but I do like little baby covers, so no boobs. Thank you. And I'm working on a graphic novel for Oni Press that's like 165 pages long, and that's almost finished. And I'm doing another like a mini series for a small
Yeah,
company.
what's it called?
Oh, the graphic novel is called Jeff Steinberg, the Champion of Earth. And then I'm doing a graphic novel, or a mini series at a small publisher called Action Lab that's called American Goth Chick. and it's about a teenage girl that writes mopey teenage poetry, and the poetry comes to life and starts killing people. It's terrible poetry also.
All right.
Let's pray it's none of Katie's.
It's not on Post-it notes.
Katie's the main character.
Yeah.
I would not buy that book if I were the main character reading my poetry. It would be super bad.
Aw.
Oh.
Get out of here. You leave right now.
He just wrote the tagline for the book. You should give him $1.
He just wrote the jacket
royalties.
blurb. Okay, Heather, what do you do besides Pony?
Well, I also work on, for IDW, I work on the Ninja Turtles animated series comic. I also work on my own webcomic that's starting up called The Fenora. I don't really have much of a website yet because I got really busy coloring a million pony comics. So that's eventually coming. And when I'm not doing that, I'm watching anime or petting cats.
I'm kind of like Tony. I wake up in the morning and first thing, pony. Pony. Got to do the ponies. Got to make the donuts. Other than ponies, when I can fit stuff in, I've done some other covers for other books. I just did, is it Action Labs that does Skyward?
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, did a cover for Skyward that's going to be coming out. Bobby keeps me on a tight leash, though. Bobby's not here, right?
You did Littlest Pet Shop?
I did Littlest Pet Shop. I did Adventure Time. But yeah, we wake up and it's just ponies, 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 ponies.
Like you
cereal,
guys.
cereal, ponies, ponies, ponies. And when it's not ponies, I'm tending to 4 cats. I just moved from Alabama to Georgia. I haven't unpacked yet. Last week was San Diego Comic-Con. I had a day at home, and I slept the whole day. And now we're here, and then we go to Boston, and then I'm going to explode into a fine red mist. So,
I did a pony cover in between.
Oh my God.
yeah, I've got a pony cover too. So,
God. Hello. Hi. I'm super intimidated by the giant Katie on either side of me. What? I
Oh,
don't
no.
dig it.
I can see her nose hairs.
That makes me kind of nervous that we're going to be up there.
But other than My Little Pony, I have some other irons in the fire. It was announced at San Diego that I have an unannounced Marvel project, which I think is the joke.
Big announcement, unannounced.
It's small. It's super small. They did mention it was in the Spider-Verse, but I'm really excited about it. I'm happy to be part of the Marvel family. And I just did a bunch of animal variant covers for Marvel that were really funny, like Thor as a platypus and MODOK as a duck. So he's MODOK. Wolverine is an otter, like things like that. They were fun. Come on.
They were fun.
Moon Knight as a hippo, which after I finished it, I was like, why didn't I do a cow? So it was Moon Knight. It is like my life regret.
It's not too late.
That's the pun that got away.
That's the one. And other than that, I do some stuff for Star Wars. I've done that. And my own webcomic Gronk. And then I've done some children's book stuff. And I have 2 kids that take up a super lot of my time. I'm a parent. It's a lot of people learn that about me and they go, you were allowed to have children? Because you're like super irresponsible. But I do, and they're adorbs. I love them.
So when you're working on original material or personal projects, how do you go about creating a setting? And is your method different for creating unique universes like a Westeros or a Star Wars versus settings based on the real world?
Did you say, how did you go about creating a setting?
Mm-hmm. And is your method different for if it's a completely unique setting versus one that's like based on what's going on in the real world, like a Harry Potter where there's bits and pieces that sort of already exist?
Yeah, usually when I create stuff, the setting is the real world, and then the scenarios sort of what will be ridiculous or exciting. It's just because I'm lazy that way. I'm not like J.R.R. Tolkien. I don't have time to write like an elf language or anything. So usually just the regular world.
Yeah, I think depending upon this, if it's something I'm not really familiar with, then I've got to research it. But I'll do a bunch of sketches, and if it's particular characters, I'll go through a number of different designs. And partly it's what feels right with the character and stuff like that. But as far as illustrators go, we file everything away in the back of our heads. We look at a building, it's like I'll need that later. Or I need this car. I need this person's expression. So I think we're researching whenever we're conscious.
Yeah, and as far as writing, when it comes to My Little Pony, I've got a great advantage in the fact that they're already pretty established characters, and when I put them in a scene and put them in a setting, I can sit there and I've got all of the main 6 as toys on my desk. And it's like, how would Twilight react to this situation? And I kind of act it out, because that's what you do. And it's like, here's Rainbow Dash. How would a jerk kind of react to this? That is set out of love. Because she's a little bit of a jerk.
Well, that's why she's awesome. I love that she's a jerk.
She's got,
She's
has
like
her
20%
moments.
jerkier.
Rainbow Dash.
Jerky.
Rainbow Dash is like Reggie in the Archies.
Yeah.
She's the
Yeah.
jerk that you hang out with and you're not sure why, but you like her anyway. Every once in a while you look at her. Why are you here again?
Aw, I didn't say that. I did not say that part.
It was all Andy.
I
We
was
can
Andy.
share the hate. It's okay.
Haterade.
They learned a new word today.
Yes, we learned a new word today. Haterade.
Haterade.
I was like,
Someone
welcome to
drank
5
the
years ago.
Haterade. No.
I'm
I'm
a cartoonist.
old.
I live in a basement. What do you want from me?
You guys need to watch more internets.
That's where we get the cat pictures, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
a few.
All right.
So what are a lot of you also have original work. What's the difference in challenges or benefits of working on a derivative work like My Little Pony? And what kind of leeway do you have to make creative choices narratively or visually?
I would say that it's the fact that it's a license and we have editors and licensors that go, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. As an original work, you get to go, yay, I can do whatever
Right.
I want.
I don't know how much you guys really know about how the comics logistics work, but you have your writer, and it goes to the editor, and then it goes to the artist, and it goes back to the editor. The editor checks each step of the way, but with us, we've got an extra step because of the licensing mothership. So she'll come up with a concept, it's got to go to our editor, then it's got to go to the licenser. So we've got a little bit more steps and everything that's not what we would go through with a creator-owned project. With a creator-owned project, we do whatever we want. And it's also different than if you're working on Batman or whatever, because again, you're just dealing with the editor. They are the licensor. They are the property people. So we have a couple of extra steps to make our not real comics.
But there's a not real.
Or
Or not real.
Are you bringing up canon already in the panel?
No. I'm bringing
it's,
up that guy.
Oh, that guy.
You know what I'm talking about.
Which guy?
Those people in their
That
all ages
article
books
about
that aren't
our-
real comics.
That aren't real
Ugh.
comics.
Oh, right.
That guy.
Yeah, we have leeway as far as like stylistically and artistically, and there's definitely leeway in the writing too. Like you sort of get to play around a little bit and do your take on the ponies, which is I think fun, and I think it happens in the show too. Like the different directors and different writers are doing their take on how the ponies act and how they behave. So that's sort of what we get to do. That was an exciting answer.
I
Sorry,
think we
everyone.
well,
Super-
I think we
super
were
exciting.
I think we were all kind of surprised when we took on the project, because usually if you're doing a licensed project, you're doing Mickey Mouse or whatever, they want your art to look exactly like the previous art, art. They want a standard flow. And when the job came to me of doing My Little Pony, I didn't want to do just standard model sheets. I was like, if you're going to do that, just get screen grabs and make it like that European comic that everybody
The German
badmouths.
one.
And I was like, I want it to look like a comic book. And Hasbro was like, what do you mean? And I was like, just trust me, just trust me. But I showed them Smart, and they were like, okay. So they've actually really, really given us a lot of slack on the leash as far as what we can do with art. You know, they're really pretty happy with what we've been doing, which is, you know, great for us. And
It's much easier.
it is much easier. And you guys get a better product if we're happier with what we're doing. So.
That's like, I remember being scared when I first got the job because I was like, I have to make the colors look like Flash. But I tried it first and it looked kind of bad. And then I just did whatever and I got the general ballpark of the colors. And Hasbro was all right with it. So I was like,
So given how the extra step of the licensor, but also involving the editor, because it's not just a project that you guys came together on your own to do, how much ability do you have to collaborate with each other throughout the process?
I could auction this thing off with the notes that Katie and I have on here that never actually make it to page. We collaborate continuously.
Andy and I have the added benefit that we have known each other for a very long time. Like, he's my super bestie, guys. We're like, and it's like, because I feel totally comfortable going, 2 a.m., hey, Andy, I have an idea. Hey, Andy, Andy. And it's...
In the middle of the night, my phone buzzes and my wife wakes up and she goes, your wife is calling you.
And like I said, my husband is just like, I don't get it, but all right. It's not like you're gonna leave me for him, because then my husband then does this, and
How could you not?
he's super handsome. So I know on
That's going to be on the internet.
on all of mine and Andy's comics, there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of collaboration. But I know that not every artist-writer team is like that, because sometimes they've never met, most of the time.
A lot of times, I would say half the times, the writers that I work with are people that I don't, like, I'll either talk to a couple times during the production of the comic, or I think everybody I've talked to at least a couple times, but then other times there are people that I've known for years. It's sort of a mixed bag with me, because Bobby won't let me just have like one writer, because I think these two got so much power, they're mad with power, and he doesn't want any more teams. He just wants like single people that he can push around.
that's like, I don't think I ever really deal with the writers. They don't see what I've done until the very end. It's like,
It's true.
dude, how much I collaborate depends on the artist. It's like Andy gives me a lot of notes. Tony gives me a few notes. I'm working with Ben Bates right now on the Power Ponies annual, and he's just like, do whatever. And I'm like, all right, guys, that's cool. So,
How many of you guys, by chance, happen to be at San Diego? Anybody? Okay. Did you guys see the giant blow-ups of Ben Bates's Power Pony pages, the Maniac story, at the Hasbro booth? They were phenomenal.
They're
Did you do
super
those too?
cool.
I didn't color the ones that were at San Diego because I don't think I'd started on it yet. Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't see them, but I'm like 20 pages in, and there's 20 more to go. But it's looking gorgeous. It's like, I love Ben's art.
Yeah, he's
it's
incredible.
gorgeous.
Ben's art is
He
very
did-
organic.
He did some
very
really
flowing.
sweet stuff on it.
Yeah.
So does the collaboration and coordination of the different pony projects, like the Friends Forever team, the main comic book in the series, does that all happen through the editors, or do the creative teams get to talk to each other at all?
I'd say it's probably all through Bobby.
Yeah.
Wait, say it again. I was looking at my phone.
So there
I
are
was
several.
looking up Ben Bates's My Little Pony art from San Diego. I wanted to make sure.
So
weather in Baltimore is.
the interaction and collaboration between like the Friends Forever team, the main comic book, and the show, to make sure there are no contradictions and everything sort of flows well together. Do the creative teams do that interaction, or is it done through a third party that sort of delegates to you guys?
That's a lot of Bobby. Although lately I've sort of taken it upon myself to make the My Little Pony comic book universe like its own thing. I'm just mixing everything from every comic book into all my comics. Whenever they say like an extra pony, I just put some extra from a different comic book into mine, so that people start to weave together the the rich tapestry that we haven't actually been building.
Well, you put little Tibbles in it.
Yeah, you put
I
Tiberius
put
in.
Tiberius in the last issue that came out, and a bunch of other like random ponies that people wouldn't expect to have seen again after their one-shot appearance.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the main book and Friends Forever, you know, you're wrestling schedules, and a person that's writing one book might not have the chance to interact with another book, which is kind of a shame because we can, if we're not careful, we're going to really step on each other's toes. But that's Bobby's job. He tries to keep everything going in line, and that's also Hasbro. They make sure that everything's going in line and that we're not contradicting the show, and the show is not contradicting us, and we're not stepping on each other's toes.
So you talked a little bit about really being given some creative leeway visually from Hasbro in terms of the style of the way the comic book looks. But when you began the comic book, were you guys sort of asked to lay down a baseline tone for the other creative teams that came on the comic books to follow, or sort of each team really given their own crack at it?
I don't know if IDW thought it would last longer than the first arc. So we just kind of did our thing.
Yeah, I
And-
think everybody was shocked by the response of the book. We certainly were. You know.
Yeah, I was surprised that they let us get away with just the look of issue 3. That was like one of my favorites to color, just because of all the mood lighting and like the red sky and everything was so scary. I'm surprised they let us do so many scary things in that art.
Chrysalis is scary.
She is scary. That's why she's cool. I like her.
I dig her.
And it's, I don't know what kind of interaction you guys have had with the kids, but you know, when I'm drawing Chrysalis or whatever, and they've got that on my table, and the parent brings their little daughter or little boy by, and they say, you know, what would you like, honey? Would you like this one with Applejack with the apple? I want the scary one. And they're like, no, honey, really, wouldn't you rather? No, I want the scary one, but it's scary. That's why I want it. They love it. They love it. They're not afraid of it. They eat it up.
Well, it's like when I was a kid, the movie that stands out in my mind the most is The Dark Crystal. And it scared the bejesus out of me. But I still loved it.
Return to Oz for me with those wheelers and the heads floating in the jars. It still scares me as an adult.
So,
I'm showing my age, but one guy in the audience is going to know what I mean when I say the slee stacks.
oh, God.
Those terrify me to this day. With their big hamster eyes. You know.
So, Heather, you mentioned mood lighting just now, and I know a lot of pitfalls for early artists is altering color depending on ambient light or if things are very in shadow. So can you talk a little bit about the way and the ponies have such distinctive color palettes, how you alter that with lighting, especially if there's something glowing, so there's color introduced, and still have the ponies look distinct as that's still Rarity's colors?
Well, pretty much, it helps a lot if you're working digitally, because a lot of that's the power of Photoshop layers. I generally do like a lot of gradients when I do like mood lighting. I have a lot of, I'm gonna speak weird for you guys that aren't familiar with Photoshop, but pretty much you have a layer, set it on hard light or screen, and you put like a color over the ponies, and I have like the regular flats under that layer. So I'm gonna have like red lighting set on hard light, like, you know, like making
Right.
the ponies reddish. So it'll still kind of retain the general tone of what the ponies' colors are under there, but that way I'm like not just making stuff up, because it's like if it's my personal work, I just throw colors around. Like I highly recommend people like looking at stuff with crazy colors. I really like there's two series called Kill la Kill and Panty and Stocking. And every time I watch it, I'm just like, this is just like color porn pretty much, because it's gorgeous. Look at things with really nice palettes. If you're starting out with coloring, I highly recommend ripping off palettes from other sources and applying them to your own. I mean, not if you're like gonna sell it, that's not cool. But for learning, copy others, and you will get better like doing your own thing.
So typically when you've got a page, how many layers on a given page?
I have a background layer for all background elements. I have a sky layer, so I don't have to worry about getting any shading on it. I have just my character flats, and then I have a shading layer for the characters. And then sometimes I'll do like, if I'm doing fancy lighting, I'll have one more layer above that with all the lighting set on like hard lighter screen, and that's where the little eye gradients and the hair highlights and stuff go. So I try to keep it really organized because I know some people that do like all sorts of crazy stuff, like 50 layers, and I'm just like,
Oh. I do like at least 70, I think, when I do those.
tell me,
God.
do you
But
use
n-
folders?
Yeah, I use folders.
Okay.
I get wild. But I always think that like whatever little piece I'm putting down, I'm gonna need to come back to later, and I never do. But I always have the option, I guess. Like I'm gonna need that tan patch, and I might need to move it somewhere.
Just
So I
flatten
keep
it.
layers, and then I also do the color holds on the lines when I do covers, and those take up a lot of layers too.
All right, real quick while we're on this topic, how many of you guys here do your own art? Just for yourself or professionally, whatever.
That's a lot.
Yell it out. We're blind up here. Okay. Okay. How many of you work digitally? How many of you work traditionally? All right. You have no idea how many people I have met recently who cannot grasp the concept that I draw this with a pencil. The idea of drawing something on paper is an alien thought to them. It really is. And I was like, am I just that old?
He is,
Answer.
to be fair.
You kids get off my lawn with your Wacom.
Hey, Andy, look over there.
I feel like there's like a
I
lot of
invented that. Good job. That's good.
I feel like there's like a lot of young artists that I've seen that like they'll draw with pencil and it'll look really bad, and then they get a Cintiq and they assume that that is going to make them very good. Digital is just a tool.
It's just another
You know,
medium.
it's like I learned how to paint traditionally before I ever did any Photoshop. That's actually how I learned how to color digitally. Is I just applied what I knew through traditional into my digital.
I think if you play with the Wacom or the mouse or whatever, however you do it, try a pencil once or twice, because you're going to start learning things that you didn't notice on the screen. It's gonna benefit both. So
This probably we could discuss the differences in our process probably, because I think you, me, and Katie and Heather all do the same thing slightly differently. Because you do your webcomic, is it all digital?
Yep, it's all in Manga Studio.
And I do sort of a hybrid digital and traditional, where I do my layouts, a combination of digitally and on paper, and then I scan them in and manipulate them all together. And I print blue lines, and I do my line art traditionally.
well, you sometimes will ink digital, right? Scan it and ink digital.
Yeah.
And what do you do that in?
I do that in Photoshop, but other than that, I still love to ink traditionally, but sometimes just for the time constraint, if I gotta color it, it's like, I got a Cintiq, done.
Meanwhile,
That's exactly how it goes.
I'm
I sing while I do it.
she does. Again, that video to the highest bidder. Highest bidder.
It's super
You
great.
know, meanwhile, I'm sitting there in my dungeon with my little bottle of ink and my brush.
Dipping.
Pony nostril. Pony nostril. You know,
Do you use actual brushes
I
or you use nibs?
no, I fight a lot with nibs. I will use them depending upon the texture.
So terrible.
The majority of my inking is done with a Raphael Kalinsky Sable No. 4.
Ooh.
It's a tiny brush.
Some Kalinsky fans out there.
Yep. And for some background stuff or hatching or whatever, I will use a Rapidograph mechanical pen. But that's typically what I use.
Speaking of pony nostril, do you go the show way or the intuitive way?
Depends on their emotion.
Let me see what
So.
you're up to. Carry on.
Make sure you hold it up to
Yes.
the screen.
Okay.
So, one of the really fantastic things about the My Little Pony, the show and the comic, is how everything looks like it belongs in the same world very obviously. Everything from the plants to the architecture, the characters, they all have that sort of equestrian feel when you're introducing something new that hasn't been seen before, a new building, a new plant or whatever, a new animal? What sort of strategies do you have, or even the way they talk, that gives it and keeps it having that sort of equestrian feel?
That's actually a pretty neat question, because we've done things, you know, every once in a while we'll, if you have to do a cow or whatever, you know, there's been an established look on the show, so you want to look up, you just don't want to make up a generic cow and color it purple, because that's not accurate to the world of the show. Because if you'll notice, the ponies are the only ones with the wild colors. The cows are cow-colored. You know, things like that. So it's a matter of bringing a little creativity to have something new, but you want to match the show in a feel. Because some of in the new Friends Forever, we introduced some new villains.
Who will be in the good, the bad,
Hang
and
on
the
for
ugly?
this originality.
Oh,
Tell them.
they're cows. And they are called the cattle rustlers. But wait, there's more.
The leader of this pack of bull.
Is King Longhorn. And his number one, Doc Holstein. And then there is also Bully the Kid. And my personal favorite,
There's Angus McSteer.
that was Andy right there. And then Jersey Shore. Guys, I'm super proud of it.
But
It was fun. It was so much fun to
Yeah,
write. And
but-
he's a great villain.
Yeah. The characterization is awesome. Our editor read it and he's like, I love this guy. You know. But when I was creating him, when I was doing the bulls, I was like, well, the closest thing we've seen to a bull on the show is Iron Will. So it was kind of a mix between him and the cows that we've seen. And then I added a little bit of myself because I wanted King Longhorn to look like a king, so he's got that giant hump on his back like some bulls get, but the others don't have that. So it's just a matter of working in a little personality, but trying to stay in the world of the show.
Has anybody seen the movie Blazing Saddles? So what I was thinking of when I was writing King Longhorn and like thinking of him visually is like when Mongo is riding in on that bull, like them merging into one thing.
Yes, no, yes, no.
So that's what I was going for.
I like that.
There you go.
All right, so as far as colors with the new things, what do you do as far as, I mean, are you just, I'm going to play with the colors, or are you trying to look at the show for ideas?
I try to look at the show because I kind of want to, I don't want it to look exactly like the show, but I try and, stay true to the show. I don't want to all ponies are going to be ridiculous colors. And when it comes to, I've had to color a lot of instances where you see Fluttershy's house and like a bajillion animals that Tony drew to torture me. And and I try to keep those realistic. I always pull up references, especially if it's an established species like the rabbits or the weasels or the bears. So it's important to me that I'm consistent with the show. There's not gonna be like hot pink cows or other things. But if it's a magical creature, I go wild. But otherwise, I try and stay grounded with the look of the show.
Me and Heather accidentally created a whole page of new ponies last week because I turned it in without cutie marks, and so she just went like hog wild and colored them whatever. And so then I just had to make new cutie marks for all these brand new colored ponies.
Sorry.
The best one though is I invented a pony called Roscoe who's got chicken and waffles. on the cutie mark. So
That's my new favorite
I was
pony.
gonna say.
Is that literally his talent? He just eats chicken
Although
and
the
waffles.
name Chicken and Waffles totally fits within ponydom. I mean,
That's
like
Andy's
this is
OC.
my niece, Chicken and Waffles.
So we're gonna open it up for Q&A, but while people are having a moment to sort of think of questions and assemble in front of the mic, what is the one thing you've always wanted to talk about or do at a panel that no one has ever asked you?
I don't think that's legal in this state.
You could do an encore.
I could do it on.
Yeah, go ahead,
let's,
do it. Do it.
Let's
kill some
not
time.
do my dance moves. What do I got? Let me see.
Tony, is there anything you've ever wanted
Poetry.
to talk about at a panel?
No, man, I just say whatever I want. You know me.
Well, yeah.
I've literally been asked all the questions I want to be asked. You guys ain't even to line up for as far as I can see.
Yeah, that's a long line.
Well, what about how do you groom your beard?
I don't. As you can tell, the more I work, the more old manny it looks. And it gets a little Miami Vice-y when I have a little time to tighten it up real nice.
What about you? Do you have any beard tips for the audience?
I have a trimmer, a Norelco trimmer.
Oh, nice. Was yours less? How gray was it when you started on My Little Pony?
Not as gray as it
Yeah.
is now.
Mine was none gray.
Do any of you have zombie
I have the
plans?
wonderful distinction of being the oldest member of our entire MLP comic team.
I think you're the oldest member of My Little Pony entirely.
I'm older than Mitch Larson.
Are you older than Kathy Wesluck?
I think I am.
Are you older
think
than
so.
the inventor of My Little Pony?
Are you older than the first pony?
The ponies.
You go to hell, Heather.
Andy, are you older than the olden ponies of Nye that had stone tablets that came down from the mountainside with "Thou shalt not"?
I bring to you these 15 commandments. These 10 commandments.
The fact that he's wearing the robe just made my day when he did
Good.
that.
That worked out. All right, let's do questions.
That was good. That was a good plan.
All right, let's get to the questions.
Speed round.
All right. My name is Unova, and here's a question to all of you. As you may have noticed, there are some negative comments about your comic contradicting the canon of the show. So I was wondering, do you get like any news from like the writers or even Hasbro about like what's going to be the scripts for the future seasons, so you won't contradict themselves in your stories, or do you just go on the fly and create like a different type of a universe with like all these main characters, sort of like with Luna and or Daring Do in your Bookworm saga?
This is the first I'm hearing about this canon. Can you explain more about? I'm just kidding.
We just make everything up as we go. Not really.
No, there's.
No.
Katie, you probably have the most experience with this, right?
Well, for me, it's, I do get notes from Hasbro when I send in pitches and stuff like that, and when I send in scripts saying, yeah, don't do this. Because, I think there was a point where I had Scootaloo flying, and they were like, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. And I was like, oh. And I had a Rarity story that I pitched that they said, no, that is the upcoming episode, Rarity Takes Manhattan, so don't do that. And it was like, wow, I was really close. Except mine had Tim Gunn in it, so it would have been so good. Come on.
But no, we work on a radically different schedule than the DHX team does. Because it's animation, because it's so time consuming, they're actually way ahead of where we are. So Hasbro does Watchdog. Okay, you can't, we've even been told down to a line of dialogue, you can't say this line of dialogue because Rarity is gonna say this in this episode, and that's not gonna flow. The camping scene, we were gonna have them camping. And
Yeah, the Cutie Mark Crusaders
You can't go camping because we're going camping in the show, and these horses just aren't that outdoors.
They don't go camping often.
They don't go camping often.
It'd be super awkward to show them camping
So
twice.
yeah, we work together to a reasonable degree what we can, but like I said, we're on such radically different schedules. And then it's probably the most common question we get, are the comics canon? The short answer is, if you want them to be, they are. If you don't want them to be, they're not. It's up to each individual I mean, there are some people that don't consider certain episodes canon because they just don't like them. As far as Hasbro is concerned, it is. As far as we're concerned, we are until the show tells us otherwise. If the show, because the show's got to come first.
As far as I'm concerned, we are, and then if the show contradicts, it's not canon.
I like that answer way better, Tony.
Right.
Yeah, the writers seem to like us, so that's about as canon as a proof of canon for me.
Megan's only kicked me once.
I was gonna say, I've met a lot of the writers and none of them have punched me in the face.
Yeah,
Yes.
they always
So-
hug us and love us.
So I got that going for me.
Yeah, we've actually got, when we get to interact with them, we have a really, really fun, great relationship with the show staff, from the actors to the writers, and it's just wonderful, and we're hoping we can figure out ways to interact more.
I want to
So-
put it out there that I would super like to see Tibbles on the show.
Tiberius, yes.
Oh, actually, on that note, someone recently asked on the IDW forums, no, it was the San Diego panel, someone asked one of the show staff if they would include stuff from the comic, and they said maybe.
There was a question at the San Diego panel about that, and they said, there's always a possibility. There was a little bit much read into it that some people were like, they're doing the comics. No, not yet. Give us time.
Like,
We're
if
working
there's
on
a
it,
possum
but-
that just scurries by in the background and Luna happens to be, 80 feet away, I
That
will
counts.
consider that,
Yeah, I'm
okay, there he is.
But really, I mean, a lot of what happens on the show is up to you guys. I mean, believe it or not, you guys really do influence some of the stuff that they do on the show. So if there's stuff you want to see, tell them.
The next question.
Hello. I just wanted to, I have two questions. Two. I am currently writing a webcomic about My Little Pony called My Little Sterlus. And I just want to know an opinion or ask you a question about something. I'm also making cow villains in mine, except
I
they're
have
part-
that trademarked.
Don't steal my OC.
Those guys invented cows.
But they're Russian cows, part of the cow mafia from Moose Cow.
Moose cow.
Show off.
And
I love this.
Love it.
I want to subscribe to your newsletter.
I figured there's one that's a mercenary, and I call him Bullseye. But the head honcho, I'm having trouble with his name.
This
Any
is not a
ideas?
question
No,
yet.
okay. Mafiosas. What do we got?
Mafia cow?
Russian mafioso.
Russian mafiosas.
He's Stroganov.
Stroganoff. Oh. Ooh, carpaccio.
Carpaccio.
Mustaf.
He's borscht. I don't know. Well, I've just gone through all the Russian I know. Oh,
Red meat would be all right.
Ready?
Thank you.
drop the mic, Tony. Drop the mic.
I'm going back to work.
Would you like to drop the scepter and just be done? Just walk off the
It
stage.
belongs to him now.
Tony
All right.
gets
What was
the-
your?
Tony's
What's
in
your
charge
second?
now.
My second question is Marvel or DC?
DC.
And which is your favorite superhero?
Old DC, not this new 52.
Yeah, that question
Stuff.
has changed. I started a DC, excuse me, and I have recently become much more of a Marvel fan. Marvel is doing a bunch of amazing things right now, and I don't just say that because I work for them.
Yeah, totally Marvel. It's like Miss Marvel, the new Ghost Rider, Hawkeye. They are brilliant, amazing books.
Yeah, Girl Thor.
Thor.
That
Yes,
Marvel
I'm very
also.
excited about that.
Chris Evans is
Yeah,
gonna-
Chris Evans is ready for his Oscar.
Yeah, Chris Evans said at Comic-Con, he's like, I'll play Girl Thor. Don't give it to a Hemsworth. I'll have the surgery and everything. It was fantastic. But yeah, it's
What are you?
they're
Tony,
doing
DC or
amazing
Marvel?
things.
Oh, I'm Marvel.
Yes.
Always Marvel.
Always Marvel.
Marvel Masterworks.
You're the only DC
Favorite
person.
superhero?
I like Batman.
Batman.
Favorite superhero?
I'm excited.
Batman.
I'm excited about the new Batgirl.
Applejack. This guy. What's up, buddy?
For those of you who use computers to draw your art, what tablet do you use and what tablet would you recommend?
What tablet do you guys use?
In 204.
Cintiq 21UX.
I think
Bought used.
I think I still got a bamboo. The old bamboo, yeah. Well, I got a new one, too, but I just haven't hooked it up yet. I got the Intuos 4.
I have a pad of Bristol
Yeah.
and a pencil.
A stone tablet he recommends.
Andy has a rather large cat warmer that says Cintiq on it.
Well, give it to me if you're not using it.
Oh, I use it. I do not draw digitally. I use it for coloring. Every once in a while, I'll draw something digital, and I feel dirty. I feel like I've cheated.
On paper? How could you?
Andy has to call up the paper at the end of the night and go, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I slipped again.
I'll give you child support.
A fallen Andy.
Hello.
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 Hi there.
So I finally got to wanting to draw again, which is why I ran off and just went tearing through the convention
What,
for
just
paper.
now?
Finally.
Just now?
Yeah, just now. 2 seconds. I'm the Flash. But that got me thinking. I have a question for you guys. Seems to happen a lot more in college, but do you guys still struggle with the motivation, wanting to actually get up out of your bed and do your job today, actually sketch?
You see what I'm wearing,
No,
right?
And if you have that problem still where you're just like, I can't do it today, what do you do about it? How do you fix that? Because
I'll tell you one thing, and I can guarantee the other guys are going to agree with me. The deadline is a great motivator.
Well, no, there's also the fact that if you draw comics for a living, you are doing the coolest job in the world. And if you are not waking up every day giddy, then you suck. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like, you have the coolest job in the world.
When my work sucks, it's still the best job that I ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I
Yeah.
worked at Starbucks for nearly 10 years, and then I quit to do comics. So every day I get up, once I get a cat off of me, I get out of bed, and then I just work, and I love it.
Yeah.
You gotta miss those benefits, though.
If it's hard for you to do stuff, always set yourself like, like Andy said, set yourself like mini deadlines. I mean, that's a way to
Yeah.
kick yourself in the pants. I mean,
And if you can't, ask somebody else to do it for you, a friend or family member or something like that.
Like
Ask
your
'em-
jerkiest friend.
Yeah. 'Cause that's the best
your
editor
Rainbow
you're gonna
Dash.
have.
Yeah.
Get your Rainbow Dash on the phone and say, please start calling me every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But
And say, is this done yet?
it happens to all of us. I mean, we'll be drawing. There are times I'll get 3/4 of the way through a page. I'm like, this really sucks, and I cannot turn this in consciously. That motivation sometimes doesn't happen. I find I do much better work at night. I'm a night owl anyway, so most of the inking is done at like 4 a.m. Because that's just me. So there's going to be things. If TV working, if the TV is on, if that helps you spark your imagination, do things like that. You know?
listen to a really sweet music mix on Pandora. I just turn on the Dragon Force mix, and then I'm good.
All right, Tony, do you do music or the TV when you're working?
If I wanted to work faster, which I do, I would just listen to music all the time, but I need to be like stimulated, so a lot of times it's like talk radio or podcasts, and then TV too. I got a sweet TV
Because I know
setup.
you typically do music.
Music while I'm writing, music without lyrics, because otherwise I start typing the lyrics, which gets super awkward for the editor. But while I'm drawing, I listen to audiobooks. A lot of audiobooks. The Harry Potter audiobooks in both the US and the UK versions are pretty fantastic.
I don't know why. I mean, I've gone through the catalog of Netflix when I'm drawing. I don't know why, but the Dick Van Dyke Show is very conducive to drawing ponies for me. And so is Magnum P.I., which is why he's been in the comic book 3 times. So it's just finding that little thing that pushes your creativity.
I think everybody should see my
Unfortunately, we only have time for one more question.
Before you all
Sorry.
leave, I want to show off my Harry Potter shirt because it has Voldemort eating Rarity in the Forbidden Forest. Which I thought was super fantastic.
That shirt
I
is
loved
amazing.
it. Rarity's innards look like purple goo from the 80s.
It looks like blueberry pie, so we assume that all the ponies are like fruit flavored.
No, we can do it.
They're Pop-Tarts.
We can make it happen.
Hey, and you guys, if you have other questions,
Yeah,
feel
there
free
is.
to come
There's-
by our
we're gonna,
table
They're gonna let
later.
one more guy. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
All
at the mic.
Is this on? Okay, good. I just wanted to say thanks very much, Andy, for this commission. And yeah, it's the one that you drew for me this weekend.
Oh,
Anyway,
you're welcome.
You know when you said what we want to see and that? Here's my suggestion for what we want to see.
No, the show, not
the
us.
show,
We
the
don't
show.
take suggestions.
You don't want to see Andy dance.
Yeah, I do want to see Andy dance, but Celestia's evil father, voiced by Christopher Lee. Is that a good idea?
I would do anything for Christopher Lee to voice any pony. I'll have Christopher Lee voice Twilight. That's fine with me.
Yes. But my actual question is, what is the favorite piece of canon that you have added to the universe? It can be as little as anything or as big as anything. What's
Like
your
the favorite thing we've done in the books that we've added to the book canon?
Yeah, just the canon. What's your favorite piece of canon
Whoa.
you've added?
I gotta admit, I do love me some Tibbles. I do love Tiberius.
You son of a bitch. Sorry, kids.
Hey, you know when you've got haters, you must be doing something right.
Oh. Oh, wait. I'm gonna.
I ain't never seen nothing that'll make me go this crazy on that spinning my door. Had $1 million vibe and a bottle to go. Them birthday cakes, they stole the show. So sexual.
Is it the dancing now? I'm not dancing. I'm exhausted.
Heather, what's your favorite
Dance
canon?
off stage.
Oh, well,
Your favorite thing that we've done to add to the world?
well, I got to personally add an accident that Tony included. I made Lyra and Alicorn. You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah. Enjoy yourself. When I get exhausted, I draw alicorns all over the place. There's like 40 of
He
them now.
sees them everywhere in his dreams.
I like the cloud gremlins that were dumb and in my first issue ever, and I'm just making them. I'm just gonna make them.
Somebody was
happen
walking
forever.
around the other day with a plush
Really?
cloud gremlin.
Son of a gun! I gotta see that.
You gotta go steal it from him.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this, and I'm just gonna do it. But I really, really, really. She's leaving because she knows what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, nobody's asked about Reflections arc all panel.
I was very happy with Good King Sombra, as
Yeah.
they call him. I really liked him. It was just, if it was up to me, if I had all the money in the world, I would get an animated episode and I would have Pierce Brosnan do his voice. So he can call everybody darling in that voice, you know.
That would make
Or Roger Moore, you know.
Roger.
And I would, unfortunately he's dead, but I would have Paul Lynn for Star Swirl the Bearded. Sammy.
Paul Lynn's corpse. Future voices.
So I'd get John Noble because he's kind of wacky. So, but yeah, I was very happy with our end results on that because it was a massive work. That's another story.
That's a story for
I-
another time.
I like the hippie ponies from the Rarity Micro.
Yeah.
Flaxseed and wheatgrass.
All right, we're gonna call all of you guys on the carpet right here because last year we said we want to see some cosplay of flax and wheat, and we haven't yet.
Nobody.
Nope.
So
None.
this is on you guys.
How could you?
How could
It's
you?
like you
You let
broke
us down.
Andy's brony heart.
I stole
Best.
this robe from the hotel for you guys. You know.
What are you gonna be like, the 14th Princess Luna? All right.
Well,
we're
I
good.
was so excited
now
there
that we're
was one
insulting
with
them, can we go?
Tibbles.
Yes, there was somebody was I didn't get to see it, but somebody was cosplaying as Luna, and they had a stuffed Tibbles.
Yeah.
So
It was
It made me
I was
really
very
happy.
tickling,
Yeah.
very tickled with that. So.
Well, everyone, let's give a big round of applause for our comic book guests.
Are we done? I want to thank BronyCon for having us out. This is like the best convention ever. I had
Thank
the most
you.
fun.
Love you.
You guys are the best. Thank
If you guys haven't noticed, the staff here is phenomenal.
Fantastic.
We are con veterans. We've never been handled so wonderfully, and I mean by fans and by the staff. It's just been awesome.
I get to feel like a princess because everyone gets me coffee when I ask for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, and it has to be Starbucks.
Because Heather's a diva. We're all divas.
I can't do regular coffee.
I went
Anyway.
off on my own this morning, and I finally got back and like, where'd you go? It was like I was in the empty auditorium dancing Flowrider with the stage lights on. What do you mean?
Instead of doing commissions.
Yes. So anybody else who has questions, feel free to come by our table, and we'll do the best we can.
There's like a half hour left, so make them really
Yeah.
good questions.
Make it count.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.